if you end up watching it tonight. Otherwise, I hope that you guys are just doing great in general. Hope that you guys have been having a great weekend and getting some rest and things like that, getting things done in the home, whatever you need to be doing at this time. I'm getting more like maybe recharging your battery though, like your body maybe needing a little bit of tending to a little bit of TLC, getting something like that. I'm not sure why I picked up on that, but let me know if it resonates. Anywho, if you're new to the channel, welcome, and I hope you like what you see here. Do not mind my appearance. I know I look kind of crazy right now, but and I am tired. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but I have neglected you guys this past week, so I was like, let me do this before I go to sleep, and before I get ready for work tomorrow. So, anywho, if you like what you see here, definitely hit that subscribe button and that like button. Help support the channel, help this channel start to grow. And if you've been rocking with your girl for a bit, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. So this is just a general energy reading for the collective, seeing what's going on with you guys at this time. Um, I have a few decks already like kind of selected that I felt drawn to read from. So we're just gonna get started and see what's going on with you guys. So spirit, let positive energy into this reading for the collective. Show them what they need to see at this time for their highest good. The deck that I'm pulling from right now is going to be the Ascending Life Oracle deck, and I like this deck because it taps into a lot of different energy in terms of a lot of different areas of life. It's not just like love or career and finance. Like it's a little bit of everything. So it really shows you some crucial information when it comes to where you are on your path at this time. Great deck. Haven't used this deck in a while because it was like actually like tucked away. And I'm gonna take this card because I wanted to jump out. It was like tucked away, and I hadn't seen it. I was like, oh crap, there it goes. All right, so to start, we have surviving. It says barely hanging on, living paycheck to paycheck, burnt out is knocking on your door, no savings and limited resources. So some of you guys might be, hey sis, what's up, girl? You've inspired me earlier to go on. But I've been, as the reading that you had did earlier was talking about, one of the cards that came up was rest. So I was like, that is actually what I'm really trying to do to catch up on some rest. So, but yeah, some of you who end up resonating with this message, you might be just kind of going through some financial struggles or getting ready to get out of financial struggles. Uh, Trust me, I can definitely relate to that personally. Um, but let's see what else comes up. Let's see. I'm also getting that some of you guys are like feeling like you're overworked and underpaid. Maybe that's why I was picking up an energy of the. I said it like way in the beginning of the reading. I was saying the energy I was picking up on was like some people might just needed to just do a little bit of resting, just relaxing and allowing yourself to kind of debrief and focus on a little bit of TLC, right? Taking care of your physical vessel a little bit. So if you've been feeling a little bit, like it does say it on there, burnt out, um, this could be your reading so far. All right, so we have two cards that came out. One of them says the Star, wish fulfillment, blessings, wealth and fame, becoming quite popular, brand new and hopeful life. I like that. I see some of my people's popping in. Hey Zachy, how are you? And I see my girl Queen Soul over here. What's up, girl? What's up, girl? Nice to see y'all. Um, yeah, see, playfulness came out, so and it's in the reverse. So I'm getting like all work, no play. It says having more fun in life, not taking life too seriously, enjoying the little things in life, careful not to go overboard. But this was in the reverse. So I feel like, you guys are trying to like level up, trying to, do what you need to do to get out of a place of, lack or I'm not necessarily getting poverty per se, but for some of you it could be that. But you're, maybe you're trying to focus on like a career venture or something like that. And it's like you're trying to rise up out of the circumstances, but the thing is, you're forgetting the importance of still being able to do something for yourself in the process for somebody who ends up resonating with this reading. So if this message is resonating so far, let me know in the comment section or hit that like button. Um, but I'm glad to see some familiar names slash faces popping in. Um, hey Hakeem, how are you? Chaos is here. Um, Difficult experiences, heavy burdens test your strength, unpredictable events, and opposing forces. So remember, I was like, it's like that energy of like, it's like, almost like between a rock and a hard place. Like you're trying to, get things in order in your life, but then there's always something that kind of like at every corner there's another obstacle, another challenge, and that might be causing you to feel very stressed and burnt out. Tell us more. What else is going on with the collective? Side note, is it hot as hell where you guys live too? I'm in Connecticut, like right on the New York line, and I am freaking burning up in my apartment right now. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm trying to refrain from putting on the air conditioner. So I'm like, it's only June. I don't need to turn it on just yet, but damn, it's hot. Do you guys resonate with that? Hey, beautiful goddess, how are you? Let's get a few more from here, and then we're gonna I don't feel connected to those cards, so I'm not gonna take them. But yeah, summer is just like trying to kick our asses already. Like it's funny because spring wasn't trying to even freaking fight back. Had winter damn weather like last week or the week before, and then now this week I did field day with my students yesterday. I'm still recovering. I'm like, oh my god, I was so damn tired and burnt out, literally burnt out. I was like, what the fuck is happening? So I'm definitely gonna have to, invest in some more booty shorts because the ones from last year don't fit me right now. So that I need to go on a diet, something. All right, so we have two cards that came out together. All right, so yeah, remember I was talking about in the funding part is like this card is kind of going to be in the middle of the spread based on how they're laid out so far. We have poor health. It says neglecting health. I was saying that I'm feeling like some people are not taking care of their physical body right now. Health needs assessment, mental health conditions, addictive habits, along with potential. New business requiring hard work. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting something along those lines. Ideas have potential for growth. Your investment paying off. A stable business steadily growing. So yeah, it's like this energy is opposing forces. Like it's like, you're working so hard at, like I'm getting like the hamster wheel, right? Like you're just on the grind, but then like you feel like you're not seeing the fruits of your labor coming together at the same time. It's like that juxtaposition of energy, feeling like all that hard work is not paying off, but there is something like on the horizon here. We're gonna also tap into some tarot. This is just oracle cards to get like the overall energy of what's going on with you guys, but we are gonna definitely tap into tarot as well. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good overall. Yeah, you can ask something related to tarot cards after. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully I have an answer for you. I'm pretty insightful with it, but hopefully it's a question I can provide an answer for. All right, let's get like one or two more from here. We're going to tap into the tarot portion of the reading. Birth, I like that. New opportunities, starting over, reinventing yourself, birth of a child, idea, or project. So you guys are definitely trying to do something new, right? And whatever this is, it has the potential for something awesome to happen. However, making sure that you're taking care of yourself in the process is definitely important. So just don't neglect yourself at the same time. Sometimes, it's one of those kind of things, like, you remember how people used to say, this was like, maybe a few years ago, I'm kind of showing my age, but people used to be like, oh, zombie life and all that, like, no team, no sleep, like hashtag team, no sleep and all that stuff. And it's like, that's so toxic. That's not healthy. You know what I mean? Like being on the grind is one thing, but like overworking and burdening yourself is not the vibe. Like being able to have multiple streams of income and barely losing a wink of sleep. Now that's a vibe, right? That's something to brag about, right? So shit, I'm trying to get to that point. That's what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? Where those residuals at? But a lot of people are still in that mindset. Oh, team no sleep, working 50, 60 hours a week, thinking that that's the grind, like that's the way to do it. And like, no, you need to be trying to find multiple streams of income that allow you to not have to work so much. Like that's what you should be doing or trying to do, right? So maybe that's what you're trying to work towards, something along those lines. I'm definitely getting mostly career and finance here so far. And the thing is, like, you're really gifted and talented at whatever it is that whatever your niche is. I'm getting some people who are thinking about starting businesses and stuff like that. So kudos to you and congrats in advance if that's what you're about to do. Hey, babe. Um, yeah. So like, like I said, I'm definitely getting like that hamster wheel vibe. Just feeling like it's the same shit every day. I'm also getting like Groundhog Day, the movie. Like literally the same shit every day, and it's like you're trying to get out of that. You're coming up with like a master plan of how to get out of your circumstances and give some birth to something new. But I'm also getting a lot of people not getting enough sleep, really tired a lot. I can resonate with that. Not getting enough sleep and needing to kind of slow down a little bit. So I think that's why the first thing I picked up on, and this was before even picking up a deck, I had like felt an energy of people who are just literally physically exhausted. Um, so make sure you're taking care of your physical vessel. Make sure you're staying hydrated. um, we have love offer here in the bottom of the deck. Being asked out on a date, interesting, because we didn't really get any energy of love at all, but there's other parts of this card. So let me, read that part too. Love to the next level, positive new love coming in, or a job offer you love. So this is giving me almost like Ace of Cups vibes, like if this was from a tarot deck. An outpouring of just overall happiness in the areas of possibly love or just feeling a lot happier too, here on the bottom of the deck. And let's get one more card from here. Let's get maybe like an overarching energy for the collective from this deck, and then we'll move on to the tarot. Okay. So I will say this. Some of you will resonate possibly with there being a past energy of a man in the background or a distorted figure who was in a masculine energy. We'll go with that because, gender doesn't necessarily matter that much when it comes to doing readings. But we do have man in the reverse. So, and I'll read what the card says before I explain what I pick up from it. A male friend enters your life, a male romantic interest, a man will assist you, a man plays a key role, but it's in the reverse. So that's giving me like a distorted masculine energy. So some of the chaos and stuff that you might have experienced might have stemmed from somebody from your past, like a karmic energy, perhaps, that you had to learn a lesson from, and you're still kind of I heard rubble, like you're like a tower moment. You're still picking up all those pieces and trying to figure out what the hell to do with the pieces. Um, like let's say if that person used you financially, and again, keep in mind we're talking about energy, right? It doesn't have to actually be a male, but it could be somebody who was like in a masculine energy. Like it could be a man who was dealing with a woman who had like certain types of what we consider more masculine type of traits or behaviors, so on and so forth. But the point of the matter is, this person might have done something that caused some chaos in your life, and you're still, like I said, picking up the pieces and moving forward or trying to move forward with your life after being in a place of lack. Let me know if that makes sense for anybody. Because look what's on the bottom, single life. So for some of you, this energy could also be tied into love. Remember, I was saying I'm not really picking up on love here, but okay. And then look what came out. It's funny like that. Living your best life, or sorry, your best single life. Working on yourself. Becoming more self-reliant. Not settling for a bad match. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Top of the deck, we have anger. Interesting. And then looking at even like that chaos card, like there's a child on the card, but like it looks like a tornado, like just like creating a lot of negative energy. We have anger here. You feel you've been wronged. Arguments, disagreements, temper, egos clash, pent up anger. So this could be that masculine that we're talking about. Maybe as that, maybe if they're watching you, maybe as they see you kind of working on your, that's why the star is there. So, you might be in the public eye in some kind of way for some of you, or, really present like on social media and stuff like that. And they might be watching and paying attention. They see you, coming up out of the mud a little bit, and they're like, oh, how the fuck are they doing all of that without me? um, but here you are, trying to rise above the bullshit, right? And to them, like, it's sad news to them and great news for you, right? We got sad news here in the middle of the deck. Disappointing message. Not what you wanted to hear, something not going in your favor, and inconvenient truth. Yeah, inconvenient truth. It's inconvenient for them because you're up here leveling up and doing your own thing, or trying to at least. And then this person, they're seeing you, doing what you're doing, you know, and they're like, oh, I want to be a part of the action. Try to take from you some more, and you're not going to allow that shit to happen. I could already pick up on that energy. I guarantee that's the shit we're going to see when we start pulling from this tarot deck. I can almost reassure it that's going to happen that way. I can just feel it. All right, so we're going to read from the tarot. Split the deck. Slow and steady wins the race. We got the Knight of Pentacles here. Slow and steady. So you've been very, very diligent about something. And we also have the Queen of Pentacles here when we split the deck. So, that's about, getting that money right. Some of you might have Earth in your chart, or it could just be like, you're working on your abundance, right? We're definitely seeing a lot of energy. We're seeing Pentacles. We're seeing a lot of that energy of, again, leveling up or working towards it at least, after being in a place of lack for a possibly extended period of time for some of you. So it took a while for you to kind of come up out of that. And it's been a process, but you're working on it. You're getting through it. Also keep in mind the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's very generous. So if you were ever like very overgiving, for instance, I feel like you guys are learning a valuable lesson about overextending and being able to be a little bit more discerning about how you give of yourself to others. Slowing down, right? Being able to, look at the bigger picture and say, okay, are the people in my life people who are worthy of what it is that I have to give, whether it's in the work that you do at your job. Maybe you've been at a job for a long time and feel like, they don't appreciate you. You're like, I'm about to take my talents elsewhere. Or if it's in relationships, in different areas of your life, whether it's friends, family, romance, overextending and realizing, okay, I have to start slowing down on that too. Let me know if that resonates for any of you. But I'm getting something along those lines. So we're going to do like maybe like a 5 or 6 card spread to kind of get some more insight of this energy that we're seeing here. And then we'll pull from 1 or 2 more decks after that, and that'll be the end of the reading. But I do hope that you guys are so far enjoying this reading and getting something out of it. I'm hoping it's resonating. So now we're going to get, again, more insight of what might be going on. So, excuse me. We have... my nose has started itching like crazy, so I'm probably gonna start sneezing. I hate when this happens. It's like a purging energy, and I did just sage a little while ago. Bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Swords, which is about accepting defeat. It's about endings. It's about walking away, surrendering control, and just saying, you know what, I'm gonna just take this out. You know, it's about people who want to win at all costs. But, you know, again, at what cost, you know? Um, so it could have been like one of those kind of situations where it was really truly a lose-lose situation for you and another person, or in a certain circumstance, getting something like that. Let's see. What is the overall energy here for the collective when it comes to what we're seeing so far? Here's the most accurate message, please. Yeah, see? I just heard. Spirit's funny. For those of you who are like 80s and 90s babies, we got 4 of Pentacles here. And I literally just heard En Vogue, hold on. Hold on to your love. You've got to hold on. Yeah, gotta hold on. You know, you gotta be a little bit stingy right now. It literally says it too on here. Holding on. Right there. So in this case, I feel like, you know, you guys have to, you know, kind of release a little bit, because it's like you might be holding on to connections that no longer serve you. It could be also talking about just holding on to your valuable possessions a little bit more, holding on a little bit tightly, a little more tightly. It could also be, especially because like that first card was surviving, and now we're talking about this, which also would be about budgeting. Maybe holding on to your money, saving money, penny pitching, I heard. I'm hearing a couple of different things, so there's probably different things going on in different people's lives. So please, you know, take the messages as they resonate. But I'm definitely getting something about, you know, kind of holding on to your finances a little bit more, or holding on. Remember, I was talking about people who might overextend and overgive, holding on to your energy more, right? Preserving yourself, not, you know, pouring out so much to the point of depletion. I'm getting something like that. So, like I said, there might be different narratives for different people, but I'm hoping that you're getting the gist of the message with that. Yeah, see? Look, you can't make this shit up. Look. Surviving. 5 of Pentacles on the bottom, which is about financial hardship. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. So again, a place of lack after possibly overextending in different areas of your life with certain people. Just saying. So Spirit's definitely trying to, you know, really, you know, bang that into your head. Stop doing too much for everybody. Do something for yourself for a change. Or make sure that relationships in your life are equally yoked, where you're both there for each other. Balance, right? Not overextending and giving so much. Yeah, and then we have 3 of Pentacles here on the top of the deck. So for some of you, it could be a work-related situation. It could be in the form of like teams or partnerships in your life where, again, you know, one person's just like always doing more work than the other person, and it's like, what the fuck? You know, have any of you whoever did, like, we all have done these, but like group projects in school, right? In college in particular, and it's like you're doing a fucking group project, and you're like, oh my god, these motherfuckers aren't doing anything. I'm doing all the work. I swear to God, if our grade goes down because these motherfuckers ain't pulling their weight, I'm gonna be real pissed. I'm gonna talk to the professor. I felt like that many times in college. I'm sure you guys can relate to. So, and I'm even in high school as well. Like, that she's pissed me off. I'm like, I swear to God, if I'm doing all this work and this person messes up my grade, or it could be the opposite, they get a good grade based off all of your hard work and they ain't do shit. So some of you might relate with that, or something really close to it, like in the work environment too. Like it's a group, you know, project and a deadline that you guys have to meet and stuff, and you're, you know, putting all this work and effort in, and then the other people on the team, they ain't doing shit. Like, where's the team effort, right? I'm getting something like that. Gosh, it's a lot going on here, a lot of moving parts, okay? So like I said, you know, take the messages as they resonate, because it's going to be different for everybody. You have the sun here in the middle of the deck, though. So you guys are trying to, you know, find that sense of happiness, right? See the silver lining, you know, beyond the circumstances that you're in, which is a good thing. So that could be why, you know, playfulness was in the reverse, right? Because you guys are definitely trying, you know, your talents and everything shine through for sure. People see that. So now it's just about, you know, being able to also make sure that you're doing something good for yourself, right? Having fun, maintaining your overall happiness. things along those lines. Some of you might have Leo in your chart somewhere. Let me know if that resonates. Tell us more. What's the incoming energy? Incoming energy. Thank you. Yeah, see? Time to release. Time to let go. We got the Hanged Man. Hanged Man is all about releasing and surrendering control. So two cards that kind of represent that energy of like releasing, right? Feeling kind of trapped and confined. But now it's like you're gonna have to make that conscious effort to make that sacrifice to let go. And I mean, everything does come down to free will. I will not be shocked if we start seeing cards like, I don't know, the Two of Wands, Three of Wands, like the Two of Pentacles. Like I wouldn't be shocked if we start seeing cards like that are like, going back and forth in your head about what to do. I mean, that's kind of a card about decisive things as well. We have, and then I talk about resting. Just saying. Four of Swords. I heard sleep on it. So, for some of you, this might be something that, you've had to kind of sleep on already in order to make a finalized decision. Hey, Tamasha, how are you? Good to see you. I love when I see my peoples coming back supporting the channel. I really appreciate you guys. And then when I see new faces or names as well, that makes me so happy. So I definitely am very appreciative of all of you guys. And I hope that you guys are doing awesome on this Saturday evening. But yeah, so like we do have this, like I said, this energy of like, you're really kind of like between a rock and a hard place. It's like, there are decisions that you have to make, and there might be a lot of anxieties or something or stressors that are attached to it, which makes it even more daunting of a task, right? So yeah, whatever this is, like I definitely heard sleep on it, or maybe that's what you've been doing for a long time, is sleeping on the ideas of something. And throat chakra. Don't start throat chakra. Don't start, because sometimes what happens is like it feels like there's something stuck in there and I can't talk. Like I literally be like stuck here, having to drink a bunch of water. Don't want that right now. This is not the time. But hey Jay Sutton, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so something about that throat chakra though. There might be something that you need to say that you can't get out, that relates to that Five of Pentacles situation that we've already been talking about. I don't know why I said it like that. I said talking. Like I'm not, I don't know if any of you guys are from like New England areas, like Connecticut, New York, Mass. Because Connecticut, we don't really have much of an accent here, but I definitely said something like kind of weird. Like it just, it just sounded strange. But yeah, let's see what we got. The Temperance here in the middle of the deck. So some of you might have Sagittarius in your chart, but I'm also getting just this, like, remember I was talking about that equal give and take, right? That flow within relationships. Reciprocity, right? Equal give and take, all that good stuff. Like if something feels like out of balance, whatever this situation or relationship might be, one second. Yeah, so like I'm just kind of getting, again, like, finding that equal give and take within your relationship. So if it's not feeling like there's that equal give and take and it's not balanced, then it causes a sense of chaos. It causes a sense of, I heard the word upheaval. So for some of you, this could be really, really like a big thing. Like this is not something small for some of you. This seems like this might be for someone specific, but it could even be like a marriage. I wasn't picking up on that earlier, but like there could be somebody who's in the collective currently who might have that be like something that they're going through. Maybe that's why there's like this whole energy of feeling like you're surviving, right? Like let's say if there's you know, or reliance on somebody because of finances. Like, you know, being on your own after being with somebody for a long period of time, it's very hard to go back into the world on your own and have to, you know, take care of all those responsibilities all by yourself. Um, yeah, so I got that for somebody. That seems very specific though. So let me know if that resonates with any of you. Let's see. Let's keep shuffling a little bit here. Did just see this the two of swords while shuffling. Tell us more. So what is one of the biggest challenges right now or obstacles that the collective might be facing when it comes to these circumstances? What's like the biggest obstacle or challenge? Thank you. A lot of it has to do with fear. I said something about that before. We have the moon here. So a lot of times it can have to do with fear, but it could also do with like things that are going on behind the scenes that you just don't fully see yet. Um, Even though the Fool is not here on the spread, like I'm picking up on Fool energy, like taking that leap of faith that's going to allow for you to give birth to something new. Remember, this was the last card that came up. Um, in the that other deck that we used earlier, and I don't know, like I'm just getting like, you know, that taking a leap of faith into something unknown and something new that you just haven't, you know, kind of wrapped your head around yet. You're just like, I'm not sure if I can do it, I'm scared. And that's why it's a challenge, right? But look, we got the Wheel of Fortune here on the bottom of the deck. Whatever this is, it's fated to happen this way. It's meant to happen exactly the way that it's happening, and it's like kind of like a divine timing kind of thing. I feel like you had to go through some lessons and stuff like that to get to this point, but now that you've kind of overcome a lot of these things, now is that time to just go towards it, go towards the unknown, face those fears head on. Yeah, stand your ground with this Seven of Wands here, standing your ground and saying, you know what, I got this, I can do this, I can handle this. But the big thing is, again, we got that Six of Pentacles. Definitely that energy again of like making sure everything's balanced, right? Equal give and take. Because I'm definitely getting like, you know, especially if this is talking about the challenge, right? It's like, you know, maybe you just feel like you don't have enough to sustain yourself. But if you learn how to be able to manage more about how much you're outpouring, you'll be able to handle whatever this is. Pretty interesting. Very interesting. What's underneath this Wheel of Fortune? I just want to see for shits and giggles. The Chariot. Moving forward. For some of you, you might be actually physically moving somewhere. But this is all about success and victory. There's something really great happening here. Yeah, so you're in your head a lot. And there are a lot of options here. So you might be thinking about it a lot. You might be having a lot of dreams about it. For some reason, I'm getting that some of you might be seeing the number 8 a lot, like 888, which is not a bad card, or not bad card, is not a bad number to see, because it represents like abundance. Like 7 will be like about like luck changing, and 8 is like about abundance. There's something about the shift and change, and being that we did see that energy about survival, and I was feeling like I'm definitely getting that energy of like getting out of being in that survival mode. I'm getting people who like didn't know where their next meal was going to come from type of energy. And I know what that feels like. I've been there. There was a time when I used to joke I was like on a ramen noodle diet where that's all I had. But my bills were paid. My son, he didn't eat anything. This was years ago. But like I was definitely going through it. And I was in college, and I was, you know, working at a liquor store. I mean, I still work at a liquor store now, but like now it's just my part-time job. It was my main job at the time. And I was going through it, guys. Like my son, he had everything. Like he had all his music equipment. He was doing guitar lessons. He was doing taekwondo. Like that boy, He thought he had it made in the shade. Like, he was hanging out with all his little buddies in Trumbull, Connecticut, which is like, not to be funny, is like affluent white people. And here he is, like, they would never know that his mom was going through what she was doing financially. And I kept a brave face when I would be going to all those shows and stuff. And he's got the nicest guitars and stuff. They're like, oh my god, like, your son is amazing, I want him to like jam out my kid in the garage or whatever. And I'm like, sure, whatever. But I say that just to say, some of y'all might have been the people who have to keep a brave face in front of others to kind of put on that facade that everything is a-okay all the time, even if it's not. But you've made a way out of nothing, or you're going through that now. So give yourself a pat on the back and all the kudos in the world, because we see some changes getting ready to happen, right? Because there's a lot of potential here for you guys. You guys are coming out of this and giving birth to a new version of yourself. All right. So y'all keep up the good work, because you're doing something amazing here. Don't and I'm also like, I'm getting like, don't beat yourself up, give yourself grace. I'm getting something like that too. Wow. I better not start getting teary-eyed up here. Y'all know me. Those of you who know, I start crying and shit. Not gonna do that today. No, thank you. Tell us more. How can the collective overcome this challenge? How about that? Look at that. All right, so we have Eight of Wands. That's about just taking action towards what it is that, you've been wanting to move towards in the first place, right? Fast movement, fast moving energy. So again, I'm getting physically moving for some. It could be for a job, or it could just be for new opportunities, a change of pace, getting something like that. But there's about to be momentum building up in your life as you take that leap. I'm really shocked that we haven't seen the Fool yet, but I'm definitely picking up on Fool energy. I would not be shocked if it shows up before I put the tarot away. I'm also getting, for some of you, especially if this is work related, because I'm mostly picking up on work related and career, teaming up with the right people, right? Because we do have the Three of Pentacles here on the bottom. That's about, so I'm getting, for some of you, another thing that you could do, depending on what it is that you're doing, like if this is like work related and stuff, apprenticeships and things like that might be beneficial. I'm also getting studying something, going like maybe like mentorships and stuff like that, working under other people who can help you learn more about a field of study or something like that, or a career advancement that you're really interested in. I'm getting something like that for somebody. Let me know if that makes sense or if it resonates. For those of you who are resonating with this idea of possibly physically moving, I am getting that that's when things are going to kind of lift up off the ground for some of you. Naturally, it's scary when you don't know what opportunities might be available when you do move, especially if you're moving like out of state or something like that. But there will be something that you're going to see very, very much different than what you're seeing currently. It's on the top here. Yeah, there's some good news coming in too. We got Page of Wands, but I'm also getting not only are we talking about actual news coming in, like good news coming in, but I'm also getting that this is about remaining optimistic throughout all the stuff that you've got going on. I just heard what's the name of that group? Sounds of Blackness. Yeah, Sounds of Blackness, and they had a song, this is like early 90s, I believe, called Optimistic. You might want to look that song up. But it goes something like, keep your head to the sky. It's a really nice song. And then in the background, it's like, optimistic. It's a good song. I like that song. It'll really like brighten your mood if you're ever having a bad day. Very, very good song. But yeah, remaining optimistic, in the face of adversity is kind of what I'm getting. Yeah, in the face of adversity. You know, the toxicities, right? The devil in the middle of the deck, you know, all those negative attachments that might still kind of be lingering in the background that you're trying to kind of rid yourself of and move forward from. Just, you know, being able to say, okay, enough's enough. I have to move on, you know, past these obstacles, past these things that have been negative influences holding me back. Whether it's your own ways of thinking, your own behaviors and patterns, so on and so forth. You know, because we do have to also take accountability when it's our own bullshit that we, you know, cause. I did a reading on myself this morning at like, it was like very early, like I'm talking like 5, 6 in the morning. Because I woke up like hella early for no reason. I was so annoyed. I'm like, I just wanted to sleep in. It's my only day off. But yeah, anywho, and you know, spirit definitely gave me like a spiritual ass whooping, and they were like, yeah, you have a lot of negative attachments that you need to remove yourself from, and a lot of this shit is your own doing. Fix it. And I'm like, okay, guys, damn. Sometimes they're just not that, you know, not that tactful. They're like, no, but you got to hear this. Because we've been telling your ass for too long, you don't listen. Like, damn, okay, I'm working on some stuff, okay? God damn, can I breathe? They're like, no, bitch, you can't. Now, if you're not gonna fucking listen to us, we gonna be waking your ass up at the most inopportune times. We're gonna make you think about shit that you know that you need to be working on. And it's like, okay, damn, because that's what they do. They will make things really uncomfortable for your ass. They're gonna create chaos in your life so that you can do what you need to do to make yourself not uncomfortable. That's what we call a tower moment, man. It's a spiritual ass whooping. And they're like, you know what? You don't want to listen? We got something for your ass. We're going to make everything fall around at your fucking feet. Hey, Aya, what's up, girl? But yeah, that's what they'll do, though. Like, they'll, everything will just kind of fall apart and be very uncomfortable until you're going to have to, you know, you gotta have to make do with exactly what they've been presenting to you, and now you have no choice but to make some changes. That's the way it goes down sometimes, and that's what they do to me all the time. So I'm just saying, if you've been getting a lot of those nudges and stuff, like of things that you know you need to do in your life to, you know, better your life, you know, your health, things like that, they're like, you better start listening, take heed to spirit's advice and their nudges and all the signs and synchronicities, so on and so forth, if that makes any sense. All right, tell us more. Let's see. What's going on behind the scenes that the collective doesn't know at this time? Let's go with that. And you're right, beautiful goddess. Absolutely. They will make you cry, but it will be for your own good. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's going on behind the scenes that the collective needs to know? Thank you. They're about to present you with something. Something is happening. And for some of you, it might be a new job or something, some type of good news regarding earthly and money matters. So we have the Page of Pentacles here. And that's what's like going on behind the scenes. They're about to prepare you. I just heard preparing a seat at the table. So I don't know if any of you guys are like about to be on some type of like committee or board or something like that. At your job or something like that. But like I also heard head of the table. Like I don't know what the hell this is for somebody, because like I said, it's different for everybody. I know that, but for somebody it could be something like that, like being like CEO type shit, like big stuff possibly happening for someone. I just heard spirit's funny. Big things pop in and little things stopping. Who was that? T.I., right? But yeah, some really good news coming in for a lot of you guys. It could be raises, it could be new jobs, but we already saw like new opportunities are coming in, right? And there's a lot of potential for growth here, and it's going to help you get out of some of, you know, those not so great circumstances you've been going through. But things are about to start looking up. You know, it's probably feel like it's been a long time coming, but something's about to happen. You're going to be a lot happier because we got the Ten of Cups here on the bottom of the deck. Um, Now I'm also kind of getting that if this is like regarding like family as well, like somebody might be getting married. Something really nice might be happening within the family, like within the home dynamic, or with like if you have kids, something with your kids. That might be something that's like super huge for some of you right now. Some of you might be trying to have a baby. Could explain why birth showed up too. But yeah, I'm getting more than one narrative there, so take the messages as they resonate. But yeah, either way, wow, like that's a beautiful energy to see. Um, but again, this all does have to do with you having the capacity to walk away, right, from the things that don't serve you, because you do have free will, but you're moving on, right? I just heard Maya moving on. I'm moving on. Oh, moving on. Moving on. I'll be moving on. So for some of you, it is work related because we do have 8 of Pentacles here. So money about to look good. We got a lot of Pentacles throughout this reading, by the way. A lot of Pentacles. Um, but yeah, so you've worked really hard at a craft and developing your gifts and your talents when it comes to your career, and now you're about to start seeing some changes coming through because of it. I love that energy for you. And what did you say, beautiful queen, I mean goddess rather, um which you are a queen too. Wow, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like I was picking up on something like that. I literally was able to envision like people around a table, like those like those when they're like on panels and stuff like that, and they're all around the desks, and they you know commence meetings and stuff like that. Like I literally saw something like that, like in my head. Kind of crazy. All right, let's see, what's the likely outcome here. Likely outcome. Again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. um We're going to get a little bit more insight here from the tarot, and then I'm going to pull from a new deck that I just got. Throat chakra. What is that about? But yeah, thank you guys for being here. And if you're new to the channel, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell too, guys, so that you guys know when I'm on. Because now that I'm about to be out of work, I'm going to have more time, so I'm probably going to be on here more. I won't be as tired. This whole week was like a whirlwind, like prepping for the end of the school year and stuff, all the assessments and stuff that were due and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Just preparing for the summer school thing too. I'm just like, oh my god, I can't wait for it to be done. I love my students, but whoa, they kicked my ass all this past week, so I'm beat. We do have 9 of Swords here, so we're talking about fears and anxieties all over again, all over again. You know what's funny? My girl Clarity Empress, she just went on live, and the title said something about moving on. You might want to check out her reading. I want to see what that's going to be like about. I'm probably going to check that out when I get off of here, if she's still on, or I'll like rewind it or whatever. But and me, like, she's really tapped in. So I'm just saying you might want to check her out. And the fact that we're talking about moving on and she's got a reading that's titled that's crazy. She's an amazing reader. Her name is Clarity Empress. Check her out, really good. But yes, we have 9 of Swords here. Like I said, that represents fears and anxiety. So there is going to be a lot of fear and anxiety when it comes to whatever this is that you're going through. And that's natural, right? But a lot of times when we're facing a lot of anxiety, it's because, again, it's because of the unknown, right? We're focused on what the future might hold because we don't know, right? Naturally, um as human beings, we're always focused on, well, the what if, the what if, the what if. Like, we very rarely focus on the here and the now, and just living in the moment, and then enjoying where we are, the fruit of our labor, where we currently are, right? Being present, fully present, right? Yes, Clarity Empress. Yep, check her out. She's amazing. But yes. So, whenever we get really anxious, the reason why, in a lot of cases, why we're so anxious is because we're too focused and too worried about what might be coming. So we're worried about what can go wrong. We're worried about, like, well, like I said, what if, and it's like, if we're too focused on the what ifs, we're not able to enjoy where we currently are and appreciate how far we've come. So don't focus so much on that, right? Easier said than done. I'm talking to myself right now too. I'm giving my own self a spiritual ass whipping, if you will. But no, seriously. Um, yeah, don't continue to live so much in focusing on the future that you forget where you are and how far you've come. How far you've come. Yeah, all in your head. All in your head. Seven of Cups there, again, for the second time. Some of you might want to pay attention to your dreams, though, I will say that. Um, Make sure you're focusing on getting adequate sleep, another thing. But yeah, when you are getting great and adequate sleep, focus on, or pay close attention to the messages in your dreams. I'm getting for somebody. You might want to keep like a dream log by your bed. And I just got a notification just now, out of nowhere, as soon as I said that. And it was from my own page, which is weird. That was weird. I don't know why I did that. It was TikTok. I'm like, what? But yeah, Queen of Wands here on the top of the deck. So it's time to be confident in yourself when it comes to, this venture, whatever this is. Um, for some of you, if this is about a business, remain confident in yourself, stand on business when it comes to that, no pun intended. um, because there's some types of ideas that might be why they're saying make sure you keep a sleep journal. You might get a lot of messages in the form of dreams that they want you to pay attention to, so that way it could be business ideas and things like that. I know that actually happens to me a lot. Like, I'll get random ideas, like for a meme or something, for like the stuff that I make on like Instagram, like with Canva and stuff like that. And or a reading that might resonate with a lot of people, like a certain type of message, like weird stuff. I'm just like, where's this coming from? But when you're tapped in, which a lot of you guys probably are feeling a lot more tapped in because you're working on yourselves and you're doing a lot of hard work, um, that's when you're going to start seeing a lot more signs and synchronicities. You're going to start seeing angel numbers. You're going to start, just having like inklings out of nowhere where you're like, whoa, what is this? Because you're tapped in. You're feeling more connected to source. But all this came after a tower moment. Or this is like kind of what's happening in your life or about to happen. Things, again, I said it before, things getting really shaken up, but it's all falling apart so it could come together the way that's meant to. Any advice for the collective from this deck? I'm going to pull from that new deck that I was talking about. Hopefully I have it over here. Been around seeing if I do. Yeah, see? They just want you to allow yourself to get up out of the cold. Got Five of Pentacles here again, officially on the spread now, though. Place of lack, too. I'm getting some of you guys might just be in a place of lack, like mentally. I can resonate with that as well. If you've had a lot of, like, especially financially, like if you've had a lot of like financial struggles and stuff, it's easy to kind of revert back to that, that mindset of like, oh, like everything could just be taken away, or which, it's always okay to like have like plan Bs and things like that. But like, I'm talking about more in the sense of not necessarily having a plan B, but just always being in that lack mindset where you're just waiting for something bad to happen all the time. And it's like when you're already setting yourself up for failure like that, that's what we would talk, that's how we would kind of refer to like, law of attraction. When you are saying those or thinking those negative things, those negative things are gonna start to happen. Like attracts like, right? And also your thoughts manifest. So if you're already thinking something negative, those things might continue to transpire. If you flip that narrative and you're thinking positive and you're like, oh, I know God's got my back, or the higher power, whatever you believe in, things like that. Or you're telling yourself, positive affirmations, everything, things like every day and things like that. You'll start to notice a change in your attitude. You'll notice a change in the things that are happening around you, because you're attracting that more positive energy. I can work on that. I can acknowledge that I can work on that. I could do better. But yeah, stuff like that, right? So getting out of that lack mindset, that's going to be a big part of what they want you to work on. Yeah, we do have the Four of Wands here. There's going to be something worth celebrating, but I also am kind of getting like aside from you know the lack mindset thing that they want you to work on, they also want you to work on, remember I was talking about celebrating like your victories and successes. I'm definitely getting that they want you to kind of focus on that. For some of you, for some, this could also be like indicative of maybe marriages and things like that happening, something really solid happening, or you coming into connection with people of your community who are more equally yoked to what it is that you're trying to do at this time. Kind of do this card, it's going to come up at some point because I mentioned it earlier. Two of Pentacles. So that's about going back and forth, right? About something, finding balance, or just going back and forth about a decision. But yeah, I'm getting, again, finding balance and peace within your life in general, being concrete about decision making instead of being wishy-washy about those things, and also maybe finding a sense of financial balance as well. I heard fiscal responsibility. So, you know, maybe watching overspending for somebody, that seems very specific. But yeah, and getting out of that place of, feeling stuck and stagnant and sad, right? So it says moving forward, right? We talked about moving forward, moving on, right? So moving on past the, the negative stuff that's happened. I'm also getting, some of you might be seeing the numbers five a lot, or the number five a lot, like maybe in succession, like 555, derivatives of five. Let me know if that makes sense or if it resonates. But that represents major changes. So, you know, we definitely have seen that energy already of major changes getting ready to come through for a lot of you guys. So again, keep up the hard work. And it's funny because I'm talking about finding peace and harmony and all that and balancing your life. And this new deck is called Harmony Heart. I really like this deck. I used it on myself the other day, and I was like, wow, like it resonated like crazy. Like I was like, wow, like I connected to these cards right away. Sometimes you have to use the deck like a few times, like to really feel the energy and stuff. Nope, with these I felt it instant. So I'm hoping that this resonates as much with you guys as it resonated with me. Um, so let's pull about 3 or 4 from here, and that'll be the end of the reading. Again, I hope that you guys have been resonating with this, because I definitely have been enjoying giving this message to you guys. And I can say that I'm proud of you guys to see like how far you've been coming, and the things that you have had to go through, yet you remain diligent about persevering through all of it. So keep up the amazing work, because not only am I proud of you, but your spirit guides are proud of you, your ancestors, the ascended masters, the higher power, so on and so forth. They're all proud of you, and definitely are, you know, trying to make sure that, they provide you with that support needed to, you know, be on the up and up and get up out of, out of the mud, like a lotus flower. Hence why my lotus flower, or the lotus flower, is my logo for my brand. Bottom of the deck, didn't I just say something about support? I'm telling you, you can't make this up. Here on the bottom of the deck, it says, friends, family, or colleagues are offering you unconditional support, helping you through challenges and making you feel loved. That's here on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to shuffle these a little bit differently, because there's messages on the top and bottom, so it depends if they come out in the reverse. It'll be more likely that if they're meant to come out in the reverse, that I could get them to come out that way, this way. Because I very rarely get reversals unless like they're a jumper and are really meant to come out that way. What we got? First card. Oh, long nails. Pain in the ass sometimes. All right, see? Told you. Less likely for, or more likely for cards to come out in the reverse if they're meant to. Now, the left side of my nose is itching currently. The card came out in the reverse and it says wealth, but it's in the reverse. So I'm going to read what it says in the reversal. Over focusing on wealth may cause you to lose sight of what truly matters, leading to dissatisfaction. Wow. And now, right now, from what I can see, at least from my standpoint, it says 7-Eleven up there. 7 people and 11 likes. So, something is about to happen. There's going to be like a stroke of luck changing things up for you. Getting out of the survival mode, right? I heard health is wealth too. And that could be why they really want to make sure that you focus on making sure that despite all these changes that are about to start happening, focusing on your overall health is important too, because what good is money and all the riches in the world if you don't have a physical, healthy body to enjoy it? Very important. I say this as somebody who, I just was having a conversation with my son's father earlier, catching up and stuff, and talking about like the changes that we're making, because he just turned 40 last week. I'm gonna be 40 in December. We've known each other for what, 23 years, and yeah, so we were babies basically when we met. But to see like all the changes that we've been making, and all the growth that we've had in our lives, and I told him like the biggest thing right now for me is I want to work on my physical health and my mental health big time right now. All right, so we have two cards that came out together. We have decision making, which we talked about decisions and free will and all that earlier. You are making important decisions in your career, and these choices will lead to long-term success. Your decisiveness is your strength. Wow. And then we have attraction. Strong attraction binds you and another person together. Interesting. This connection is both emotional and physical, drawing you closer. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So, I'm getting a couple of things here. I'm getting, because, one card is talking about, career, obviously, but another one's talking about more like partnership. And it might be romantic for some of you, but for others it could just be saying there's something that you're like that you feel guided or attracted to going towards when it comes to making a finalized decision when it comes to career. For some, this seems very specific. You might end up having like an office romance or something. Ooh la la, interesting. Or that might be already happening. No judgment here. Some people say, those never work out, but you never know. They could go in a good direction too. Just saying. But yeah, so it could be different for everybody, but let me know if either one of those narratives makes sense or resonate. But yeah, definitely follow where you feel guided, right? If it feels right, following your gut instinct and your intuition, they won't steer you wrong. Emotional repair, interesting. Left side of the nose is itching again, so this might be more like past energy kind of thing, but it does say you are working to repair a relationship that was once fractured. Past hurts are healing, and reconciliation brings hope. Interesting. So there might be some type of relationship worth working on and saving for some of you. I'm not sure what this relationship is. So it's going to be very specific for somebody, but if you've been feeling guided or attracted to working on any type of relationship at all in your life, whether it's with friends, family, romance, work, I don't know. If it feels like it can be worked on and it's a mutual thing, because it has to be a mutual effort. See how they're shaking hands. I just heard call a truce. Kind of letting the bygones be bygones, acknowledging what has happened, but not holding on to it anymore or harboring it. I'm getting something like that. Maybe that's why the throat chakra has been kind of acting funny. Maybe there's something that needs to be said in order for the connection to continue to be worked on. Getting something like that. All right, so let's get maybe 2 more from here, and that'll be the end of the reading. This is a good one, guys. I really enjoyed this. Hope you guys did too. Like I said, I greatly appreciate you guys for being here. I'll probably be on a little bit more next week, being that I'll be out of work from the kiddos, so I'll have more energy and time. So maybe I'll start up the free readings again. It's been a while because I just haven't had the time or energy to do it. But whoa, it's a jumper. Yeah, so I'll definitely have more time and energy to do it. So there's a good chance that I might start that up again next week. All right, so like I said, this one was a jumper. Hope y'all saw how it jumped out. Trying to think, was that in your vantage point when I did it? I'm not sure, but it might have been too low. But this one like flew over there. Financial stability came out. So it says your financial situation is secure and career success is bringing you material rewards and a sense of safety for the future. There we go. That's what we've been wanting to see, right? And this is confirmation of what we've been picking up on. So now we have that sense of confirmation that things are definitely about to start looking a lot better. So again, just follow where you feel guided, right? If there's like a career venture or anything that you've been wanting to do or have been interested in, learning a new trade or a new a new skill, things like that. It could even be like a continued education kind of thing for somebody. Like, let's say you're already like, in a pretty stable career field, but you want to learn more. For somebody, it could be like graphic design or something with computers, like IT type of stuff. They just told me that. So let me know if that resonates with any of you. But if that is the case, they're kind of pushing and nudging you to do it because they're like, there's going to be room for career advancement. But you have to make sure you stay on top of learning, because I heard obsolete. Some of those skills become obsolete over time if you don't continue to refine them and develop them. I'm getting something like that. Let me know if that makes sense for anybody. And I appreciate you too, babe. All right, so let's see. Let's get one more from here, and that'll be the end of this reading. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all of you. One more. What we got? Oh, they gave us more than one. They gave us 3. All right, what we got? Let's see. All right, so they all came out in the reverse. I'm going to take them as they came out. So the first one is creativity. It says, creative blockages are holding you back, and you may struggle to find inspiration or motivation in your work. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. So some of you are creatives. Now, remember I was saying I was picking up on something with computers? Look at this picture. Some of you might do, like, remember I was saying graphic design maybe for somebody? Maybe you guys make like websites and stuff like that. But something about creativity, I heard back to the drawing board. So some of you might have like some type of idea that you want to bring into fruition, but you're not feeling motivated. Maybe you feel like I heard stunted growth. Maybe there were ideas that were like kind of stunted or cut off like right at their infancy. Interesting word usage there. These are not things I normally would say. Spirit is definitely like flowing. But yeah, it could be something like that. Like you had a lot of creative ideas, but just something never felt right about them. So you might have to revisit something. I'm also getting some of you might have been working on your own website and stopped working on it, and they're nudging you to kind of start working on it again. We also have balance, and we talked about balance several times throughout this reading. It says, your life may feel out of balance with too much focus on one area causing neglect in others. What is possibly the neglect that we've been talking about, guys? Your own self, probably. Okay. And the other card that came out is passion. Ooh, what are they doing? Oh, some of you might like to cook. Might be like chefs or something like that. That's kind of cool. So if there's anything about like cooking based on this card here, I'm picking up on that for someone. Somebody might like to cook and wants to like do something when it comes to opening a restaurant or something like that. Let me know if that makes sense. I'm also hearing food trucks. Um, we have passion is fading, possibly due to daily stress or emotional exhaustion causing a loss of intensity. Yeah, so maybe the fire kind of going out, fizzling out a little bit when it comes to, whatever it is that you used to feel passionate about and it's not really feeling it anymore. All right, so bottom of the deck we have innovation. Your creativity and innovation are shining in your work. I said something about that earlier, didn't I? You are thinking outside of the box and bringing fresh perspectives and solutions. This is what they want you to do. They want you to become more innovative. I'm getting people who are. I remember my girl Lati from Tears and Wheat Tarot show earlier. She was talking about. She used the word ingenuity, and that's what I'm picking up on right now too. You think outside of the box. Big time creative people. I'm getting people who might either be fire signs or air signs. Very, very intelligent, very passionate about what it is that you do, and always thinking very creatively. And we have support here again, which we read that card earlier. And middle of the deck, we have sacrifice. We talked about making some type of sacrifice earlier, didn't we? You are willing to make the sacrifices for love, putting aside your own needs to support the growth of the relationship. I'm going to read the other side of this card too because I just feel drawn to do so. But what does it say? Over sacrificing may lead to a loss of self. That's the message here. I feel more connected to this message than the other one. It's time to reevaluate the boundaries in the relationship. Absolutely. So we talked about that already, and there's the confirmation as that last card. So with all of that said, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading because I definitely enjoyed giving it to you, and I lied because now I feel connected to this deck. I'm gonna read one more card. I'm gonna read from here, and that's officially the end. But I do hope that you guys have resonated with this reading. I definitely enjoyed giving you guys this reading, and now we're gonna pull one last card for real this time, and that's it. um, but yeah, I'm very grateful for all of you. So let's see. We're gonna get one more card from here, and then that will be the end for real this time. I'm not even gonna look at the bottom like I usually do. It does say abundance though. I lied. It said abundance. All right, let's get one card from here, and that'll be it. I really appreciate all of you guys. Card from here to close out this reading, Spirit. Please and thank you. And I just realized as I looked over here, I have like one of those like videos in the background, like a lo-fi live video or whatever. And in the video they have it looks like it might be like Paris, but there's a computer. It looks like they're doing like some type of web design or something in the picture. And there's also a guitar and an amp, like vintage musician equipment. Very interesting. If any of you guys are musicians, let me know in the comment section, or like to collect vinyls, or like to collect vintage musical equipment like amps and soundboards and stuff like that. It's pretty cool if that's something you're into. Okay, well, we got something flipped. What is it? Loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. So, sometimes being on this part of the journey, it can feel lonesome. It can make you feel like, you know, kind of in recluse mode. But you might feel isolated from other people or something like that. But just know that, you have that support system that is going to be in your corner, your community coming in to help you along the way. Not only that, but also like your spiritual team too, right? This is probably a good time for some of you if you've been feeling like a little bit in that energy, this could be a good time to work on your relationship with the Most High, whatever you believe in, God, whatever, your ancestors, the universe. So meditation might help, prayer. I definitely believe in those as being ways to kind of reconnect sometimes when we feel that sense of isolation and loneliness. Um, a lot of us are probably experiencing nicer weather now, so maybe meditating outside and getting grounded might also help you feel a little bit more connected as well and rooted. Health is here on the bottom of the deck. We talked about that earlier many times. I will honor the physical vessel, and I use that word several times throughout this reading. The physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Top of the deck, we have indecision. We talked about needing to make a decision, right? A finalized decision about something. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. I'm happy I pulled from this deck class because those messages definitely needed to be seen to. And doubt. Exactly. So we're talking about fears and anxieties about the unknown and not knowing where things are going to go, if things are going to work out, blah, 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 blah. I release the need to know all the answers. We talked about sacrificing, right? And releasing control. Sometimes we just have to let things happen. We can only control so much, and then let the rest of it happen with the divine, right? Divine timing, um, so on and so forth. So officially, with all that said, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tapping and sticking around. I really appreciate you guys. I do remember that I believe it was the beautiful goddess had said she wanted to ask me a question just about tarot, right? If you're still here, ask the question before I end the reading. See if I have an answer for you with it. Being that she is not asking like a reading type question. She's asking a question about tarot. So I'm not offering readings right now. But like I said, I think I'm going to start working on that again this upcoming week. So stay tuned because I'll probably be doing some type of freebies or something like that, something special. So yeah. So yeah, what's the question, love? But yeah, for those of you who are tapped in right now, definitely hit that notification bell so that you know when I'm on in the future. Can you interpret the moon card and the high priestess? Yes. To me, the moon card is more about stuff that's going on behind the scenes, like things that are going to be revealed, but it could also represent like fears and anxieties surrounding something. So it's kind of like think of it almost like if we're talking about that kind of energy, almost like the darker side of yourself, right? So like trying to okay, like if you were to think of it like this, the moon versus the sun, right? Very, very different energies, right? The sun is about something bright, about something sunny, it's about happiness, whereas the moon is kind of like, and sometimes it could represent revelations, whereas the moon is about something that's hidden behind the scenes that you might not be able to see. Whereas the high priestess, on the other hand, represents somebody who has like esoteric knowledge. So there is still a sense of like secrecy, but it's more something that you actually do know, but it's like in a intuitive way. I hope that makes sense. So it's usually the high priestess is about a very high sense of intuition. Somebody who might be a psychic or have some type of psychic abilities and gifts as well, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's definitely like about like an esoteric knowledge kind of thing, inner knowing, that kind of thing. I hope that makes sense. But the reason why some people might infer that there's something about secrecy is because of, again, like something that's behind the scenes, right? It's like hidden knowledge. But in terms of the high priestess, she's already aware of that knowledge. She holds that knowledge within herself. I hope that makes sense. It's not that it's negative. It's just it's different. Like I said, it's like the moon can represent like within yourself. Remember, every card has different meanings, right? Different interpretations. Um, so one aspect of the moon card could represent things like your anxieties or fears about something that's going on, and having to uncover that that knowledge about something that's going on within self. I hope that makes sense. Can it be that the high priestess is someone hiding something from you? Um, if it's in the reverse, yes, I that has been inferred at times too. Yes, exactly. Lati could also represent releasing for the moon. Yep, yep, yep. Like people who like to use moon magic, that might be a card that they kind of resonate with. Um, but yeah, so some people say like if the high priestess is in the reverse, it could represent something that is unknown that you don't know, and it could represent secrecy and something being hidden. But like I said, I feel like that's more like if it were in the reverse, if that makes any sense. Hey Gregory, how are you? Yep, exactly. Yeah, see, you got it. You got it. Right. So like you just said, it depends on the surroundings. So like, if you're looking at a spread, right? Um, certain cards around it will kind of help you be able to kind of decipher what it might mean in that context. That's the interesting about tarot, because like one part of it is the actual card meanings themselves, including the imagery of the cards and stuff like that. Very important to pay attention to. But then it depends on placement within a spread. If you use spreads, it depends on the positioning of the card. If it's in the reverse, challenging, so on and so forth, it can represent different things. So that's when using your intuition comes in handy, because you might get extra meanings from those cards other than what they mean in terms of the books, right? Like every tarot deck comes with like these little books here, for instance. um I learned tarot like on my own, basically, because like I used to watch tarot, and then I would like pay attention to what the readers were saying, and then I was like, oh, okay, so I know that that card means X, Y, and Z, and then I learned stuff on my own. So and then I learned how to use my own intuition when I read the cards. So when you have allowed yourself to open up more as a high priestess, you kind of get extra insight from just the feeling of the cards. Like when I read now, I get to a point where like I can pick up on a feeling. I could like touch the card, and then like I see things or I hear things. That's when you hear me start like almost like ramble stuff, or like I just say like these quick little clips of stuff. Um, but that's what, like, the card might not say that on it, but I feel it, and I can inference in that way. I can hear things. I can smell things now. Like it's very interesting. Yeah, like Lati just said, she could see that before they come out. Sometimes like we'll say, like I've seen her do it too. We both do that sometimes. Like we'll say, oh, I just kind of feel this card's gonna come out, and it'll come out. Or cards that are kind of similar to like that energy. It's crazy, but yeah, it's quite fascinating. Like, and the more tapped in you become, the more that the more that you just kind of feel in tune with it. It's pretty cool. But yeah. So with all that said, I love you guys, and until next time, you guys have a great evening and a great um, good answer, Lati. Good answer. Good answer. Um, should I be seeing white people eat more watermelon than we do, though? Not to be funny. I'll be like purposely walking by watermelon because I don't want to look like the typical nigga coming in to the grocery store. But then I'd be like, damn, shit, they got a whole damn full damn cart of fucking watermelon, because I guess they're in the know now. We must have knew something that they didn't. That's why our skin looks so good. But anyway, all that said. I love y'all. And I love my girl Lati for always making sure that she does her amazing part as one of my moderators. That's why she's my girl. That's my sister right there. But I love you guys. And beautiful goddess, thank you so much for asking that question. I love to open the floor at different times and just kind of have these kind of conversations, and you know more than just a reading, right? Looking deeper into understanding stuff about what we do here, and understanding more of it, and so on and so forth. So with all that said, you guys have a great evening, as I do have to start resting up. Yeah. I got like a little less than an hour before I need to go to sleep in order to get my 8 hours. So, you guys take care of yourselves, and I will definitely be checking in with you guys this upcoming week. So until next time, you guys get some rest. Take care of your physical vessels, right? Very important. So, y'all have a great night. Love you guys. Good night.